Welcome to weekly market updates from K5 Trading. My name is Shamsul Arefin, and in this episode of 14th February 2022, I will provide our technical views on the major financial assets such as gold, oil, S&P 500, BTC, and major currencies. Please note we are only sharing our own technical view, and by no means it is a recommendation to buy or sell. Please seek financial advice from your financial advisor before making any buying or selling decision in any of the financial market. As required by the regulators, here is a disclaimer. Trading any financial market involves high level of risk and may not be suitable to everyone. Please read the disclaimer carefully, and K5 Trading is not responsible for any external content. This video and its contents are copyrighted to the K5 Trading system. Today's episode, we will analyze gold, S&P 500, oil, BTC, and if we have a time, then we will analyze Euro USD, Aussie USD, and Pound USD. For more and regular update, please join our Discord channel. The link of the Discord channel, QR code on the Discord channel is on the screen, as you can see. With all those out of the way now, let's start with our analysis, starting with the BTC. As we mentioned previously on the BTC, that's our key area of the support is still around 29,000 to 30,000 from the support side on the weekly time frame, based on weekly time frame, and it's already break our supports as we were expecting to come down from 43,000, and now currently is trading 42,000, I think 42,000. Yeah, so that's what we were expecting, is a kind of the a down channel which is reaching at the top of the down channel or channel on the weekly time frame. So if you draw a channel up here, that's your channel, and you can see that's particular one for last 1 week, it was actually break out of the channel, so we were expecting the market to come down into the channel. Our next level of the support we are expecting on BTC is up to, it's around that level, so I'm expecting close to $36,000 before it can actually jump upside. After that, we can also assume that it's gonna come down. If you look at the from volume point of view, so this bar we got a high volume, and here we got a low volume. This actually indicates that there are some sellers coming into the market, and that's represented on this current week's bar. So now let's go into the daily time frame so we can analyze a little bit more in detail. Here you can see on the weekly time frame, that's our channel we draw on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, we are expecting market to retest right up here. If it's need to break below, then we can say that this is our level which we draw on the weekly time frame. It's a little bit adjustable, but around here, if it's hold this area, then we can expect the prices to go further up to the 52,000 before it can come down anymore. If the level is not hold up here, then we can expect prices to come to the 30,000, or at least if not 30,000, then 33,000 before it can jump upside to the higher value. What also I'm expecting is this particular area, what you can see, this bar up here which I have marked on this one, it's a high volume activity bar, and since then price is retesting on the low volume, so I'm expecting a little bit more for the retest before it can jump upside. So that was our BTC. Now let's go to the gold, see what the gold is telling us. On the gold, if you remember last week we were talking about that the gold prices needs to come down a little bit, and that's exactly what's happened last week. The prices did come down. I mean, it went up, but eventually it did come down slightly. So for example, the reason why we say that is that was your last week, and look at here, up here on this high volume activity, we can see a lots of supply coming into the market. Compare with that particular bar, that bar and that bar, they look similar to me. They're not much different in the spread, but the volume is lower on this one, where the volume is quite high on this one. the closing, this one is a firmly lower, indicating the supply, and here I can see that's the supply coming from the upside. They try to push the prices down, but they were unable to do so. So I'm expecting this area is still to be hold for some time before it can break downside. I mark this, this is my support zone on this one, and another support zone, sorry, the resistance, and this is my support zone, and you can see that it's clearly it's holding up that level. Alright, so if I can delete this trend line, which I don't need anymore, you can see how clearly it is holding. If I have drawn correctly, I don't think so I've drawn correctly. 1 minute, okay. So this is what I'm expecting. Next week we can expect prices to come down further, and or maybe it will actually play, it will stay within that range for the whole week next week, but we can expect prices to come down. If it's come down around 1774 area or a little bit up here, we can anticipate to buy a long for maybe short-term move. So let's go into look at the daily time frame. The daily time frame is more clearly indicating what exactly happening on this price movement. So I'm going to remove those lines because I don't think so I need to use this kind of line. I can go back to the weekly and let me draw some proper lines. Alright, so instead of that one I can use this horizontal, and that's my high area up here, and one, and the second one is right up here. Right, now let's go to the weekly time frame, daily time frame. And on daily time frame, as you can see, that's high volume activity, and after that we got some kind of supply coming, drying up right up here on this area. So if you look at the previous low volume, the previous the down bar, then this is what I'm actually seeing. So high volume activity around here, that's retesting, gone up, test up here on that level, and then market want to come down. If you can put this, if you can draw another support or resistance line up here, we can see that's market actually in this range is resisting how many times? One time, 2 times, didn't manage to break up here. So it's A, B, C, A, B, and C. So I'm expecting prices to come down for next week, even though this 2-3 days is the volume is quite high. But look at up here, what's happened on this bar, the high volume, on this bar, the same volume, but they spread it quite wide. And with this wide spread, we can see the closing was in the lower side. So I'm expecting markets to come down for the gold next week. And if you are looking to sell up here or short up here, then you go to the lower time frame, try to do from there on. After the gold, let's come to the oil. Oil on the weekly time frame. Market does not want to come down forever. However, I am starting to see some shortening of thrust for last few weeks. Right up here in this area, if you look at 1, 2, 3 bars, we can see that this third bar actually closing below the previous bar. The high tried to make a little bit higher but didn't manage, but then after that it's higher, and the last week was actually slightly higher, and it's retraced a lot inside of the previous bar. So that's a significant indication that the market is losing its momentum, and we should be looking some kind of short-term prices coming down on the weekly time frame. However, saying that, this is strong move upside, still got some momentum, even though the momentum is weakening. So we won't see this accelerated prices movement upside, but rather we will see some sideways price action, smaller bars, or maybe the prices to the downside. So if you want to trade on this one, you need to draw some kind of a channel up here. And you can see how sharp this particular market is. So we actually try to draw a reverse channel up here. Now let's go to the daily time frame so we can assist, and here we go. That's last 3 days ago. We were said that the market is coming down. This bar closing in the middle, closing on the low, and closing off the high. So this all indicates that market still don't want to move upside, it's going to come down. for some kind of a small retracement, but we need to keep an eye on this our trend line supply zone. And also, if you want to mark this area up here, that's also interesting section we have to watch out. So next week I'm expecting oil to come down and again try to retest those support area. If it's fail around here, then we can expect $100 $102 next week and coming days in oil. So that was oil. Now before I can go into the oil, I like to just see what's happening on our calendar system with those markets. So here we go. So here we go into the oil market. First of all, let's see, where is it? Oil. So this is our oil, and what it's telling me on the daily time frame is, as I said, the market is trying to come down slowly. However, that was the low down and that's gone up. I can expect this market to come at least a retracement of up to at least $90 or something before it can go for the higher, because the market accelerated quite a lot. If you look at the lower time frame on the H1 time frame, no sign of coming down. However, I can see this kind of a shortening of thrust happening. So look at up here, then here, then here, here, and here. So shortening of thrust is happening. Expect prices to retrace. Is already far. Prices already stretch away from our moving averages, and as per rubber band impact, it should actually snap back. So expecting the oil prices to come down. Right now, it is not a buying market. We want to see some low volume activity around this area for making our short sell decisions. Now let's go back to the, after the oil, we go back to the S&P 500. Okay, as we said, we can see a clear spring up here, playing up, and that spring is telling us that wait for the market to move upside. Even though the last week we can see the prices retraced and close on the lower end, but the activity of the volume is not quite high, but activity on this spring part is quite high. So I can expect on this support area, which is 42 or 40,000, 4,000 or 4,200, around this area, I'm expecting a testing of this market before it can go upside. So we should watch very carefully next week with the S&P 500. I expect a retest around this area, 4,200. Now look at the daily time frame, see what's happening. On the daily time frame, as you can see, this is the market profile, what we did try to enter. It's a kind of a distribution. So you can see the market is going upside straight away, and then it's reaching those kind of top markets. So yeah, wait for this market to retest and go on upside again. Right now I will be actually willing to wait in this S&P market. That's our one of the key level up here. If it's breakdown, then we can expect that a bear market starting, and I can then go up to the 4,000 or 38,000 even for these prices to come down. Right now it's a time to just wait and see, but on the next week I can expect the lower prices on S&P 500. Possible support area is our 4,200. After S&P 500, I start with the Euro USD. The Euro USD on the weekly time frame is showing us some sign of the euro showing a sign of the weakness. It means that US dollar is getting stronger, and if you can draw a channel on the weekly time frame, which already looks like the channel has been broke, so you can see that area. The market did break up the channel upside to the channel after this one, but now it's trying to come back and retest. So expect a retest on this channel on the weekly time frame, and this is, I can actually say, it's an interesting area or support area to watch. Okay, we can bring a little bit down up here, so maybe slightly. Yeah, that's an interesting area to watch. I'm expecting prices to further come down next week. It means that euro will be weaker against US dollar, and US dollar I'm expecting maybe it's a little bit performance, and it's especially it's always happen after this high CPI number which came in last week. So expect market to come down next week, and our key level should be to watch out is those ones. Okay, now let's go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, I don't need this number, any of those lines up here, because I can draw a little bit different kind of supports and resistance zones. So first of all, this is the area I can see that's market resist up here. They've gone up, but again we got a top level resistance as well. So this is I'm actually interested to see what's happening up here. Next week, next day, yesterday on Monday, when market will open, I will watch out this high and this low and see market should break downside on this on the 4 hour or 1 hour time frame. So that was my euro US dollar. Now we don't have much time, so let's quickly have a look into the Aussie dollar. Okay, Australian dollar on the weekly time frame is showing some strong resistance support around this area. You can see for some time this is actually holding in a strong support zone for us. So if I can draw like around here, I think, yep. Yeah, you can see that's top. That's our axis line. So that was support and then resistance and then support and then support and then support, and it is holding that area. So we should be actually able to see next week if market is still hold this area, then we look for the upside. One thing which you should have noticed that even though it's a weekly time frame, we are on the downtrend. If we are on the downtrend, then it means that, and you can see the supply coming in this market up here from the top, supply here, supply here. So expect next week is the prices should actually make a lower side, but and it might break this support zone. So if it's break this support zone and come down right up here below 69, then it's mean that we need to just simply, it's gonna resist around here to going upside. Yeah, so next week is very interesting to see how the market will play. Let's start with the daily time frame and see how we can view this market. Right, so as you can see, that's high volume activity, but the bar is smaller than this bar, right? That indicates that somewhere, somehow, the buyer is actually entering in the market and trying to stop the market coming down. This is we call it stopping volume, and stopping volume is, as you can see, this visible here. That means that expect a kind of a up move before it can come down. The key area to watch for the next week is one of those area. That's the one, and that's a quite high one, but before this one I will actually just look for this area up here, and then market to watch out this area. So between this zone we can see how the price actually plays. Either it will move break upside or the downside. Most likely it's going to break downside because of this supply, a lot of supply coming into the market, and I can see very clearly another zone where we should expect the prices to come in. This is that up here. It's very clear visible up here, nothing hidden. So that was the Aussie dollar. So let me wrap up very quickly what we expect. BTC, we are expecting prices to stay in a range, and I'm expecting that's if it's hold our support area, then it will go right up to the 44,000, 45,000 and break the upside. The Aussie dollar and the based on Aussie dollar and the euro dollar, we can see that US dollar is becoming stronger. Oil prices are quite high and out of the range, so we need to wait for the retrace before we can enter into the market. Gold at the moment is in the kind of a sideways market, so we will wait for that one. But if you want to do some daily trading type activities or intraday type trading activities, please join our Discord channel. We published our trade setups on regular basis on our Discord channel. That's all from K5 Trading now. It's already 20 minutes. We have promised that's our weekly analysis. We try to keep within 15 to 20 minutes. See you next week now. Bye.